My parents told me they couldn't afford my wedding, but I watched them write a $40,000 check for my brother's boat. I smiled and said I understood. Then I checked the family trust fund my grandfather left me. I've always been the responsible one. While my brother Jake was failing out of his third college and racking up bar tabs, I was working 2 jobs and graduating with honors. When he totaled his car driving drunk, they bought him a newer one. When I needed textbooks, I sold plasma twice a week. I never complained. Jake was the baby who needed help. I was capable, independent, the daughter who'd be fine no matter what. And I was fine. I built a good life, got a marketing job, saved money, bought my own car. Then I met Marcus at a coffee shop where we both reached for the last blueberry muffin. 6 months later, he proposed on the beach, and I called my parents crying happy tears. Dad asked me over for Sunday dinner alone, said he wanted to talk about wedding plans. I drove over, excited, thinking maybe this was my moment. We sat in their kitchen. Mom poured coffee. Dad cleared his throat twice. Sweetheart, we can't swing a big wedding right now. Money's tight with Jake's situation. Jake's situation was $15,000 in credit card debt from buying crypto that tanked. Mom squeezed my hand. Maybe something small? Backyard ceremony? Nice barbecue reception? I swallowed down the familiar sting. Sure, no problem. I understand. They looked relieved. Dad hugged me, said I was being so mature. I started planning a courthouse wedding for 20 people. Marcus kept asking if I was sure. I told him it was fine. 2 weeks later, I stopped by to drop off mail. No one answered, but the door was unlocked. I walked in to leave the envelopes on the counter. That's when I saw it. A check on the kitchen table, already signed, made out to Harbor Marine Sales for $40,000. The memo line said, boat deposit for Jake. I stared at it for a full minute. Then I opened Instagram. Jake had posted an hour ago, standing on a brand new fishing boat, Dad beside him, both grinning with ears. Caption, thanks for the early inheritance, Mom and Dad. I took a photo of the check, then I left. In my car, I called my grandfather's estate lawyer, Patricia. She'd handled his will 5 years ago. Patricia, how much is in my trust account versus Jake's? Pause. Let me pull the records. I waited. Jake's account has $3,200. Yours has $86,000. My hands shook. What? Your grandfather set up equal trusts, $100,000 each. Your parents are trustees until you turn 30 with discretionary access for educational expenses. What's been taken from mine? Longer pause. College tuition, $32,000. Vehicle purchase, $18,000. Living expenses, $12,000. Legal fees, $8,000. All documented as for your benefit. None of that was for me. I paid my own tuition with loans. Bought my own car for $3,000. Oh no. I spent 3 hours reviewing documents, Patricia emailed. Every withdrawal had a forged signature. My signature. For things I never received. They'd drained my trust for Jake's life. His real tuition at expensive schools. His cars. His DUI lawyer. His credit card debt. All coded as, for my benefit. The college fund they said was empty, never existed outside the trust. They lied so I wouldn't question where the money went. I could have accessed the trust at 25. I was 27. They never told me. I called Marcus. Get your best suit ready. Then I emailed my parents and Jake. Family meeting. Saturday, 2 p.m. Non-negotiable. Saturday came. I had everything printed and stacked on my coffee table. Trust documents. Bank statements. Withdrawal records. Photos of Jake's boat and cars. Sit down. I walked them through every lie, every forged signature, every stolen dollar while I ate ramen and sold plasma for textbooks. Dad went gray. Jake wouldn't look at me. Mom cried, saying they'd pay me back. They were helping Jake get on his feet. I was always so capable. You're right, I didn't need help, but I deserved it. Grandpa left that money for both of us. I looked at Marcus in the doorway. Change of plans, babe. We're doing the wedding at Riverside Country Club. Live band, open bar, ice sculpture, past appetizers, plated dinner. And Mom, Dad, Jake, you're all still invited. I handed out 3 envelopes. As regular guests, standard invitations, no special seating, no parents of the bride designation. The boat got repossessed 4 months later when Jake couldn't make payments. And my wedding had 200 people who watched me walk down a flower-covered aisle. My parents said they couldn't afford while they sat in the back row beside Marcus's distant cousins. My dress cost $8,000.